I was wondering, Emery, if I shouldn't talk over one of these intros.
It feels like you always talk over these intros. Welcome back to another episode, everybody. I keep hitting that pause button. It's tricky. It's tricky. I don't know. Anyways, this is Just Two Camera Guys, a podcast about everything camera. My name's Emery Wolf. Joining me is
Nick Lamb.
And I already ruined this. I totally botched everything.
You're doing fantastic, Emery. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Nah, whatever. It's all live. We do it once, and if we get it wrong, we get it wrong. That's the way it goes. Yeah. Nick, ticket sales. How have things been going for the Moose Jaw Film Festival?
I'm glad you asked. I actually just logged on and checked. It's a little over 400 person theater, and today's Tuesday, so the event's on Saturday, and we're a little over 150 tickets already.
That's nice. Do you guys have like a max capacity or anything?
Yeah, I think it's 424.
Oh, so there's still space.
Yeah, there's still space, but then they have to take out some of the seats because the front row, they got to take out the front row, and then the sound people, they got to take out some of I don't know exactly if the max capacity is 410 or if the 424 number they gave us includes those kind of kill seats.
And that is for like all the viewing stuff, right? Like to view, to start off day one viewing. I guess it's only one day, but
yeah, because we were thinking about bringing in multiple tickets to multiple events, and it just got all too complicated. So we just did one ticket, gets you everything.
Yeah. And so then they released just this weekend or Monday or something, all the shows they're going to actually screen at the event from each section here. We'll get into it in a minute here, but Kyler's going to be our interview here today. But these are everything. This is a lot of films to be watching.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good day. Come down for the day, catch this awards ceremony, and spend the night in Moose Jaw.
Is there like 400 tickets too for the award ceremony, or is it like different? Like, how does that work?
So it's separate. So you can get a joint ticket. So you get the whole festival plus the ceremony, or just the ceremony, or just the festival. So $15 gets you in for the festival, 25 gets you a festival and the ceremony. Or if you just can only make it for the ceremony, that's 15 as well.
All right, cool. Do you know what? Let's jump into it. Let's bring Kyler in and let's start talking about his film, The Heir. Kyler, hey. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. How are you guys doing?
We're good. We're good. You doing good?
Yeah. Doing real good. Very excited to be here.
Good. I gotta ask, man, how did you come up with this concept? It's one of those ones that sort of hits you. There's a lot of things laying in there. It gets pretty deep and pretty dark pretty fast.
It was a COVID project that I had written. I wrote with a couple people. So I wrote with my mom for some of it, and then I wrote with one of my writing partners, Dylan, and originally just wrote something to do something. You know, it was one of those where it's like, okay, I have this location, I have a camera, I know what I can do, I know what I want to shoot, so let's just get out and shoot something and let's make it like feasible. So it's one of those things where we're like, okay, what's the like minimum kind of requirement that we want to shoot so that we could get across the story and kind of just do the whole like filmmaking process. Because I'd made short films and I'd done stuff like that in high school, but this was kind of the first real short film that I worked on.
Are you serious?
And yeah, like there was one that I did right out of high school, where I shot like in my old high school and just on a Canon, whatever, T3i or something. But like this was the first real kind of short film that I did, directed, shot, and everything. And I don't know, it was kind of a personal, like pulled from a lot of stuff in my personal life where like
all the killing you've done.
Yeah, I mean, it pulled a lot from my love for the slashers and stuff of the 70s and 80s. Like Sam Raimi is a big inspiration of mine, and all the Friday the 13th movies and Nightmare on Elm Street and all those. So I really wanted to do something where I could kind of play at that. So I had a script and I had an idea of this son and his father who had kind of had dealings in the past, and this kind of shows up at the culmination of their relationship, where we see kind of what happens as the son comes into his new position in the family, type of thing. So it was definitely a little embellished. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty gritty, it's pretty gory, but all the best films are.
I don't want to gloss over the fact that it's shocking that this is your first film, because it
Well,
was clearly well done and it
I
looked
had a lot
really
of help.
good. Like
I
there
couldn't
was a
have done it.
lot of seasoned filmmaking in this show. It did not look like somebody's first film. So yeah, don't
I
be
appreciate
expecting
that.
that if you're coming to the festival.
Do you mind if I actually share some of it real quickly here?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. We'll bring it up. We can actually probably talk over top of it as we go. I'll just leave the
Yeah.
sound out, but just to give people a quick glimpse of what it is like. Yeah, it goes through this. It's very graphic. It's very detailed, and honestly, too,
Yeah.
it's kind of an interesting take of how sharp everything is, but at the same time, how gritty
We
everything.
went for
can
a
be as
very
well.
like kind of Robert Eggers Lighthouse style for this shoot, and it was fun. It was one of those ones where I think I had 6 people total on the crew, and like pretty much everyone was not, I wouldn't say beginner, but like fresh out of film school, or like had done a few things. And then I had a couple other friends who were just like um had done some stuff in the past but wanted to kind of explore some new territory, I guess, in terms of like prop making and stuff. So myself and Levi Miro, he helped with the edit, he helped with color, he helped build the gore rigs, he helped build the monsters and everything. And it was just one of those ones where you kind of you send out the text in the group chat and you're like, hey, what are you guys doing this weekend? And it's like, oh, I'm free, I'm also free. And it's like, okay, well, I guess we're shooting a movie. So we shot over, I think it was like 3 days, and then we did like 1 day of pickups, and it was just like kind of like summer camp, where like I kind of always wanted to rekindle the like stories where they do the movies during like whatever, like summer, like the Friday the 13th movies and stuff. They just go stay at a summer camp for like however long they were shooting, and it would kind of be like that summer camp feel where everybody's just having a good time, everyone's friends, and it's just everyone's there for the same reason. So it was really nice to be able to do that with just a group of friends and kind of get the chance to make something that I think turned out pretty well, considering how much we kind of put into it. So
I don't want to scare people away too. Like it's not as gory and as scary as other things. Like it is still a think piece. You can watch through it and you got to kind of think your way through it. But I do want to know, like, it seems like there's a resurgence of, the sort of horror genre. Why do you think, especially with guys like you or this younger in Saskatchewan, even alone, people making it, why do you think that's sort of coming back?
I don't know, like what always drew me to the horror genre was being able to kind of slip that like little subliminal stuff in there. So it's like Hereditary was a big one that kind of reignited some of the love for horror that I've had, where like it's a terrible thing that happened in the movie, but it's like you just can't look away. It's almost like watching a car crash, but it's like there's some little stuff in there that kind of just makes you think a little bit harder about like, oh yeah, this is gory and this is like gruesome and crazy, but like also there's some other stuff in there. And I think that was the main thing, right? Where like I really wanted to showcase that like you can do the crazy gory stuff, but there can also be some story to it and a little bit of deeper meaning. And with that being said, I mean, there's no dialogue in the film, so I'm glad that the actor that I had, Jared, was able to do such a good job with his emotions and really convey that, because I know that's definitely a tough thing, but he was a real pleasure to direct. And it was just one of those things where it was just fun the whole time, like
He was so
stressed
good
out.
in it.
But
like he was
yeah.
good to the point where I actually was questioning. I had to look it up because I thought it might have been you. Like I thought it might have been one of those self-directed star in films, because he just seemed to get the character and get I'm assuming it was probably exactly what you wanted.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I couldn't have asked for anything better because there was a world where I was in it as well, right? Where I was like, okay, well, I'll shoot it and then I'll get someone else to shoot the camera for the shots that I need to be in it. And then I was like, what am I doing? I don't need to do all this. Let's find somebody who's serious about it. And Jared is definitely somebody who is serious about acting and all those kinds of things. So it was really nice to be able to work with someone like him, and just like I said, have the camaraderie there to be able to um, just understand each other and kind of what we were looking for.
So were you friends already with the actor ahead of time?
I worked with Jared on a couple smaller projects before before I did the Heir. So he hired me to work on a documentary that he was pitching and a couple other things. I'd met him at all the Screen Sask, I guess now. I met him at all the Screen Sask like mixers that they did where they were doing the workforce like those workshop things. And we kind of got along there because we were going to a bunch of those just to try and see who was trying to do this stuff. And yeah, we met there, started talking about stuff, and it just worked out that he was free when we were doing it and he was interested. So
Oh, that's cool. Was there any thought to actually shooting this on film?
definitely, yeah. If I had more of a budget, I definitely would have shot it on film. The main thing, like I said, with this one was just trying to make it for as cheap as possible. I think we like most of the budget went into props and food and snacks, and like pretty much that was it. So everybody was just there doing it out of the kindness of their hearts, and it was just one of those types of things. So like had there been more budget, I would have definitely pushed to go shoot it on actual film, but yeah, that's was a little out of the budget range for what we were doing.
Yeah, totally.
And also a little scary for like a first time like short to be like, oh, I can shoot this on film. I know everything about like exposure, and I can get this developed and wait 5 days or however long to get it back. So it was nice to be able to see everything in real time and like work with the grade to kind of emulate that style and have respect for it without having to cash out as much or dole out as much cash for the film itself.
Yeah, it's funny actually. You sort of mentioned that you started out working with a T3i, which I always think is funny because when Nick and I started out, like our cameras we got at film school were an XL1, which like a T3i just absolutely blows it away.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice that way that the technology has come quite a long ways.
So did you sorry, go ahead, Emery.
No, I was just going to ask where he goes next. Like, you know, you're improving skill, you're improving all this stuff. You've tackled one genre. Are you going to try tackling something else next?
I recently so for a bit of background, I shot this project, I want to say just barely 2 years ago. So I shot it and I kind of sat on it for a little bit because I wasn't really sure. Like I kind of did it just to see if I could do it. You know, I wasn't really like I wanted an end result. But through that, I've gotten more opportunities to do some different types of projects. So I shot a project last summer for another filmmaker, Graydon Estwich. The project's called Headstones, and it's more of a drama piece than a thriller. So there was no blood and guts, to my dismay. But it was very it was a very different type of shooting where like we had the full crew, we had like everyone in their departments, and like it was just nice to kind of see the flip side of it where like we're all working as professionals and like there was actually budget for stuff, and like it was another one that was a good time. It was a little stressful just because we were trying to cram like I think it was oh god a lot of scenes into like 4 days with different location swaps and different actors and extras and everything. But I definitely my heart is behind the camera. I think I'd love to continue doing some more cinematography. Directing's fun. It's not exactly my cup of tea. Like I enjoyed doing it on my project, but I think I'm much more comfortable behind the camera, operating and helping out as like a camera assistant or any of those types of things. So I'm kind of waiting to see what happens with these next couple projects to kind of decide where I think I'll be best suited. But yeah, it's nice to have the opportunity to kind of showcase the work a little bit as well. So I'm glad for that.
I wouldn't sleep on directing these projects though, because not everybody can make a project as high quality as you just did there. So
I appreciate that.
yeah, I for sure wouldn't jump out of directing too quick, even if it's just a project every year or two. I would encourage you to keep rolling with it for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where like I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, like I could probably do it. But then it's also like I have more fun working for other people, if that makes more sense. Like out of the films that are in this festival, I think I worked on a good handful of them. I was on First Slade, I was on I worked on Van Life, I worked on Kitty Town, I worked on just a few of them. So it's nice to be able to kind of step out of the driver's seat every once in a while, just to get a chance to see how other people do it as well. So you can kind of take that back when you go back and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, learning from others is the best way to do it.
When you say you camera assist, what was your role on Van Life and Kitty Town?
So Van Life, I was for context for people who don't know me, I was one of the virtual production people that was working on the volume. So I got hired to do that. I was the supervisor on that one. I say that in air quotations because that one was definitely a very tough technical project because of just tech hating life and all those other things. And then on Kitty Town, I helped out with VFX. So in tandem with cinematography, my other kind of passion is VFX and that type of thing. I worked as a camera assistant on First Late Eyes with Jeremy, and I've done a few other things for other projects, but nothing in the union or that type of thing.
The only reason I asked is because I was second camera assistant for probably 7 or 8 years and a first assistant for a couple of years with 669. So Emery was going to have to tune out and it was going to become the camera assistant podcast for the next 10 minutes. But don't worry, Emery, it's not going to go there.
I'd love to get more opportunity to work as a second AC or even a first. Fun fact, I've only ever pulled focus in a professional like setting once, and that was when I got thrown into it on, I think it was A Life Less Empty, which we shot. That was the one that they shot in kind of out east a few months ago. I was filling in as a second AC, and then the first AC had a family emergency, so I filled in for them on the day. And I was like, okay, I've never done this before, but I'll give it a go. And like,
I've been there.
Jeremy was very nice. I know I definitely was soft on a few takes, but
the actors didn't hit their marks. It wasn't you. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what, man? That's good too. You're kind of getting like a round education as you go through it, like a bit of a jack of all trades almost. You know, when you do get into like the industry, like Nick says, he was just a second for all that time. He was just a first for all that time. There was like nothing else and nothing in between. It was the same thing when I worked in the film industry too. So it was, you know, you kind of almost got pigeonholed into a section. So honestly, it's a good thing that you're getting to do.
I'm kind of envious of all these guys, how they're how everybody's been doing it now coming up, where they're getting involved in directing, they're getting involved in cinematography. Like I was just a technician for 10 years, right? Didn't do any of those other things.
Yeah, everyone's self-made, right?
Yeah, it's definitely the time of the generalist. I feel like there's so many things where like I didn't go to film school or anything either. I kind of went the route of, okay, I'm going to take the tuition money that I had set aside and I'm just going to buy some gear. And that was, I don't know, we'll say it was a good idea because I'm working in film still.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that don't have that luxury, right? And it's one of those things where like you kind of take the leap and you bet on yourself. And I think in my case, I'm glad I took the leap because I think it's been a really good experience overall, and just having the chance to work with so many different types of people and different areas has really broadened my horizons in terms of like just kind of understanding how everything works. Like I've done a few like art department jobs. I've done like a little bit of AD work and that type of thing. But like at the end of the day, anything that you do gives you more experience and helps you understand the other people's jobs better. So I definitely don't knock any of that.
Do you think with this film here, the Heir, are you gonna try to like submit it to other ones, or have you already to other film festivals?
That's the thing that I got stuck on that for about a year or so because I submitted I got into Sask Fantastic like the year that I finished it, and then I was like, okay, I did it. I got into a festival. That's it. I can just release it now. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll wait a little bit. And then I kind of just got busy and busy again. And then I was like, okay, well, Moose Jaw's coming up, so I have to like think about it at least. And then like I've said before, like I'm glad I have a good support network, and my roommate Levi, he pushed me to submit it to here because I had just been sitting on it and hemming and hawing. And I think there's definitely a world where I want to submit to other festivals, but it's just a matter of what festivals I think I want to hit, because I don't want to do the blanket like just submit to everything and then hear nothing back. But I don't necessarily know if it's like a TIFF film or that type of thing. So there's definitely a conversation there with some of my friends to see what we think would be the best place to send it. And who knows, maybe I'll just upload it to YouTube at the end of this and just let it lie and move on to the next project. But yeah, it's definitely it's in there. It's in the back of my mind somewhere of wanting to send it somewhere else at least.
Cool. Are you gonna make it down to Moose Jaw for the
Oh,
film
100%.
fest?
I'll be
Nice.
there. I think we're coming down for 10 a.m. So I should be there for the early morning screening, and I'll be staying
There's
all
a
day.
lot of good stuff starting at 10 a.m.
Oh yeah.
So
I can't
yeah,
wait
I
to see
would.
Priest, and I can't wait to see Hunting Trip and all those other projects. It'll be really good.
Yeah, I just pulled up the schedule here. So yours is in the 12 p.m. Slot, the Heir right here, right after the Hunting Trip, as you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Nick, the theater itself, how big's the screen there?
Big.
Have you seen
Yes,
any of your work
huge.
on like a big screen before, Kyler?
I saw at the Roxy, I think, in Saskatoon.
Okay.
Actually, no, it was Broadway. It was Broadway. But yeah, that was the first time, and that was kind of one of those like, okay, yeah, this is cool. And like I've seen other films premiere at the May Wilson, so I'm definitely excited to join the list of people that have screened there. So
The
it's gonna
projector
be,
there is a legit good projector
yeah,
where Eric, the guy that runs the tech there, he totally nerded out on which projector to get before they
nice,
got it and got a really good one. He's a big film kind of nerd as well.
right on.
So he's got like there's a movie night that they run every month at the theater there. Yeah, it's you have to load up your proper DCP files in the
Oh God,
projector. But you can run it off of HDMI, but we're going to put them all. They're all going to be run through the DCP, so
right.
it'll be really good.
Yeah, God bless, because I know how annoying it is to make DCPs. Because yeah, that's a process in
Well,
itself.
hopefully they're going right now because yeah, Jeremy just did the timeline of all of the blocks and sent it off to Eric. So
Right on.
it's a little stressful for us right now. I'll tell you that.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Nick, you look so stressed with your hair all
I'm
slick.
just shaking.
One other thing I was kind of thinking, Kyler, too, sort of backtracking, going back to those T3I days. You mentioned too that you just bought gear instead of going to film school, which honestly, what, $5,000 versus 60,000 might be the way to go. What's it like, just learning on your own?
YouTube helps a lot. I'll say that much. I'm very much a YouTube film school graduate in that sense, where there's so many. I find nowadays it's so much easier to find information about stuff. Like there isn't really a barrier to learning things anymore as much as there used to be, where like you'd have to go scour through forums and like find the one old guy who kind of knows everything about this type of camera or this program. And Like it's so much more accessible, and I think that that's probably part of the reason why there is such a resurgence in like younger guys like me, um, kind of getting into more of this type of generalist work, because all it takes is like maybe 20, 30 hours of YouTube videos or like courses or whatever, and you have enough that you can kind of stand on your own in a sense. Like it's not a supplementary to like um actually being on set or anything, but it gives you enough to get your foot in the door. And I think I'm glad I did it, because it definitely helped me get my foot in the door in a few places. And yeah, it's just a lot of it is just getting into the mind space of learning how to learn for like ever, basically. Like once you know how to teach yourself, you kind of aren't really limited to what you can teach yourself, as long as you have the understanding of what to do, right? Like that's the biggest thing that I got out of it was I figured out how I could just continuously learn. And I think that's why I'm in the film industry to begin with, because it's like every project is a little puzzle, and solving those puzzles just like scratches an itch in my brain, and you just keep every new project, you just keep learning and learning, and no one can take it away from you. So it's really nice to be able to have that luxury of teaching yourself and learning from other people as well.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Nick, I think that's a great way to end it, to leave it at.
Yeah.
Kyler, where can people find you on the internet?
You can search me up on IMDb or on Instagram or YouTube. Everything's just my name, either Kyler W or Kyler Wilton. It's pretty easy. Nobody else has a very similar name. So
Cool. Good
Awesome.
stuff. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Kyler, thanks for jumping on with us.
Yeah,
And,
thank you, Kyler.
Everybody
Thanks so
out
much,
there,
guys.
have a good day. All right.
Right on. Have a good night.